podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, welcome people to episode 418 of Film Bastards. I am one of your co-hosts, Mark Foster, and as ever I am joined by...
Becky Foster, hello everyone.
And I'm also joined by...
Ian Norring, hello.
And yeah, we're back. We had a rare week off. We don't have a lot of week offs. I think that's fair to say, isn't it? That we don't have a lot of weeks off.
Yeah.
No.
Even during, when the world was on fire, we still brought you this audio gold.
A lot of Netflix content.
I mean, yeah, we worked with what we could get, but we, instead of reviewing like one major cinema movie, we reviewed every fucking movie that landed on streaming services. All 37 of them a week.
A varying quality.
A varying quality. But we're back after a week off, and we have films again of varying quality. We have reviews of we have sequels. It's a sequel-a-thon. We have Venom: Let There Be Carnage, and we have Halloween Kills, the second in what will be a trilogy of the David Gordon Green, Danny McBride movies.
Like Star Wars.
Yes, Star Wars, but with a kitchen knife. So yeah, we missed last week because Ian did some LFF coverage, which you can check out because he dropped a LFF special, which I think you should go listen to. I'm looking forward to listen to it myself, to be honest. And we moved house, didn't we?
We did. We moved a long way away.
We did, yes. We were just commenting before we started recording that we have no carpet now. See? I've been banging on the floor, so it sounds a little bit echoey here.
Yeah,
so,
we've got like hard floors here, so if we do sound super echoey and it's distracting, let us know and we'll buy some egg cartons and pin them to the walls.
yeah, we will record upstairs in the bedroom where we have carpet.
I think my idea was better.
Yeah, it will. It's a lot of eggs though. I'm not full Paul Newman in it.
You'll be egg bound. That's the whole thing.
So yeah. So that's what we've got. We've got
Egg-bound.
Egg what?
What did you say? Egg what?
Egg bound. It's like an old person thing that they say, oh, if you eat too many eggs, it'll make you egg bound and it'll like...
No, they don't. No, they don't.
What?
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
Becky, we had this earlier, didn't we? Earlier this week. Where you claimed that a thing... Well, Becky's actually going to answer the phone now. That's how scared she is of this thing. Becky claimed that when I said when I referred to somebody as a cabbage head, that wasn't a saying, and I think it is. Ian, have you ever heard the phrase cabbage head?
I haven't, mate. No.
Fuck. I was hoping you were gonna.
I can't back you up on that one, dude. I'm sorry.
God damn it. Well, luckily she's out of the room, so she won't know. So,
move on quick.
What's been happening in the news this week?
Okay, so I mean, I'm not going to talk about the eternal spoiler thing, other than just to say it's very funny watching people get their knickers in a twist about that.
Yeah, we won't talk about it. But have you seen several news sites today have literally been tweeting about it?
It feels. I do somewhat feel sorry for the folks who made Eternals, because it feels like they did that to give people a really, really big surprise, and it is kind of fucking like, yeah, all right then, fine, let's see how that works. But for people who are so inclined, if I was spoiled on it and I was passionate, I think I'd be pissed off. But it does reach a point where that John Campion guy basically says, we should sign NDAs, and if we break them, we have to pay $1 million. I'm serious. It's like, fuck off, mate.
It's like all right. Right, for a start off, let's look at is that reasonableness first of all? No, it's really not. But secondly, let's look at the actual practicalities of that. Do you have literally, if you're going to sign that, you're basically acknowledging that you will have $1 million to pay that fine. Those people don't have $1 million to pay that fine. So how is that even enforceable? It is a nonsense.
All Disney need to do is go, right, if you break the embargo, you are never, ever, ever, ever going to be invited to any press junket or screening or any Disney-sanctioned press thing for the rest of your life. You are blacklisted.
Yeah.
That should scare, given how much content Disney have these days, that should scare people enough to take their NDA seriously. End of.
There's a weirdness. I'm going to push something in. That sounded rude.
Great.
Into this conversation for how that works as partially a joke, but it's based on something that I genuinely think should have been brought in. So also as well, they should have their Disney Plus account cancelled. But the reason I'm saying that is because, as a side note, I have been saying this for years, that genuinely I think that anybody who is found to have been racially abusing people at football matches, racially abusing people online with regards to football and bits like that, or has a stadium ban, should not be allowed to have a Sky subscription or a BT Sports subscription.
Have I walked into the wrong podcast?
No, it's fine. It's an offshoot. And
Okay.
I think that is something that the authorities could do. So, yeah, why not basically say that if someone breaks an embargo, they're not allowed to fucking have Netflix or anything like that. But the reason why is because, does it really matter?
I mean, yeah, it does.
There's a professionalism for it. And if you added a stigma to it, it would stop people from being employed or people being subcontracted and things like that.
If people, like professionally employed people that are getting early access to these kind of things, sorry, I don't know what I've walked into, but are found to be spoilering stuff, they should take their accreditation off them.
That's basically
so
what
they don't then have early access.
we were just saying, what we were saying is a guy...
You can't be trusted with it. You're basically Tom Holland. No.
A guy was basically saying that there should be a contract that they sign that states that if they break an embargo, they have to pay $1 million fine.
Well, that's stupid.
Yeah, it is. It's... Yeah. But that was about the Eternals thing that we're not going to mention.
I haven't seen
You
any
don't need to.
spoilers. I'm not gonna watch the movie with any interest anyway, so it's fine.
Ian, what else happened in the news, bud?
Yeah, sorry. So, apologies. I was doing a little bit of... I was listening very, very intently, but I was also just cleaning up something, so I do apologise.
Was it a dog or something?
No, it's not a dog related. No, don't worry. No, thank fuck. A little bit of Marvel related stuff as well. I thought it was interesting that Will Poulter's been cast as Adam Warlock in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So
weird noise, wasn't it?
It was. Are you dying?
Alright, well, let's fucking hope so.
I mean, everyone is gradually.
Did you see the press photos they put out of it?
Oh, he looks fine
Yeah.
as fuck, doesn't he? Everyone's thirsting over Will Poulter.
You looked at it and went, Jesus, that man's late 20s are treating him well.
Boy's had a glow up.
He has had a glow up.
Yeah.
because that's the thing, like, without seeing that, it's a bit like Will Poulter is like the perfect man, really. And then you look at it, it's like, yeah, well, actually, yeah. Do you know what? Fine, go on then. So yeah, no, that's really cool casting. I'm looking forward to that. And they just pushed back a bunch of MCU movies. They just delayed Indiana Jones 5 by a year. Honestly, do need to start questioning whether Harrison Ford's still going to be fucking alive to see it premiere. I'm sure he will. That dude's going to live to like 110.
That's really bleak,
but-
Ian. How old even is he?
Yeah.
Is he? Yeah. Is he touching 80s now?
Yeah, surely.
Harrison Ford is... Shit, yeah. He's 79.
I'm sure he'll be fine. He's obviously fucking live and still doing
Flying
plenty
planes.
of shit.
I think his anger.
Yeah,
keeps
yeah,
him alive.
crashing planes.
I think he's just negative vibes keep him going.
I think he's got a lot more chill. I mean, he was literally, he spent a lot of time in Yorkshire in the past few months, hasn't he, for filming of Indiana Jones.
Which Yorkshire though? Like the good Yorkshire, like where we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've just been doing like a lot of cycling around
Fair play.
and stopping at cafes and bits like that.
Just tell him not to go anywhere near actual York City Centre because the traffic will drive him insane.
Oh, he will either get very annoyed with the Deliveroo or Just Eats rider, or he'll get hit by a car.
Yeah. Sorry, this is a bit of a kind of, what is it? Ian calls it inside baseball.
Yeah.
The last, since we moved, York City Centre traffic has been driving us both fucking insane because now we're out in the sticks. Yeah. We have an hour and 10 journey to York.
Anywhere between 50 minutes and an hour and 10, yeah.
Yeah, so the initial kind of 50 minutes of that, of getting from where we are to the outskirts of York, is a fucking breeze. It's a delight. You might get stuck behind a tractor every once in a while, but they're good enough to actually pull into a lay-by as and when and let people pass.
It's kind of quaint.
It's quaint. It's good. And you just drive everywhere at 50 or 60 miles an hour. That's fine. And then you get to the outskirts of York City Centre and it's just fucking gridlock. Anger-inducing, red rage-inducing fucking gridlock, and I hate it. And I never want to go anywhere near York again, but I work there. So...
yeah, we moved away from York, and then you still work in York, and I've been stationed in York in my new job for the past week.
Yeah. So, yeah, it took me half an hour the other day to go from my work, which is halfway down Gillygate, to York St John University, which is at the other end of Gillygate. And I was sat in my car.
To get the context for everybody in the world who doesn't know what that
need
distance
context,
is,
yes.
It is literally 100 yards.
Oh, wow, okay.
I would say it's about 300 metres in, like, grown-up terms.
Which is about 150 yards.
Yeah. And honestly, like, I've never been so angry as on that car journey. And it was half an hour of just sat. So, yeah, that's what that was about. I apologise for bogarting. Go on, Ian.
No, I enjoyed that. God knows I bogart enough. I mean, to be honest, I think in terms of the kind of like the big film stuff that's happened recently, I mean, like we'd be starting to drudge up stuff from like last week and whatnot, so there's probably no point there. We do have some trailers.
Okay.
I believe.
I spent my day cleaning, so I might have missed some trailers.
So, I mean, there was that DC fandom, and obviously there was a big one that I imagine we'll leave till last. But there was the first kind of like footagey stuff from Black Adam and The Flash.
Yeah, we saw the Black Adam stuff when we went to see Venom on the super screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The Black Adam stuff was at the super screen, wasn't it, Mark?
What?
The Black Adam stuff we saw at the super screen, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. So yeah, our first time at our new local cinema.
Yeah.
It was feeling a bit foreign. It was all a bit weird, going to a different cinema.
Yeah.
And then we got to the counter.
Yep.
We ordered our tickets.
And what happened to make us just remind us that we were in a Cineworld, Becky?
Well, so Mark ordered his small Pepsi. That was fine. I ordered a latte, and the coffee machine wasn't working, and we just felt our home again.
Yeah.
We did, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Cineworld, for your perpetually shit coffee machines. And then they didn't have any small cups, so they gave you...
Yeah. Rather than just give me a large drink, they gave me the small amount of a drink in a massive cup.
Oh, really?
That was amazing.
That's a bit like, I lifted it and was like... Because she said, oh, we don't have any small cups, so I'm giving you a large. And I was like, oh, brilliant. And then lifted it, was like, oh,
You
she
can
meant
get
a large cup.
in a large, yeah. So then, the incompetence made us feel really at home.
Staff weren't incompetent though.
Oh, no.
It's what is it?
No.
They were lovely.
Cineworld incompetence.
I'll just say this now. First time I went to 4DX in fucking months. Thank you guys so much for not attending the 4DX.
Oh, do you know what? We really wanted to though, but we couldn't make it on the Friday, and then the timings just like there wasn't any after we finished work, was there? All the 4DX screenings were during the day.
Like go see something in 4DX. I'm not fucking going to 4DX again unless Lossie's with me. I'll say that.
Summit we're going to go and see 4DX in. We're not doing June, we're doing June at IMAX in York, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Yeah, not super screening that.
No, we'll be proper at IMAX. We'll go and see something in 4DX.
We will, I promise. I'm really sorry, Ian.
I've given you guys enough passive aggressive shit on WhatsApp for that. I think I'll leave it.
Are we doing trailers?
Yeah, we're doing trailers.
Yeah, no, we are. But we were just
footage, but we didn't really.
We were kind of getting it. Yeah, we were kind of getting into it, but I just wanted to say, just to get this off my chest, the 4DX experience, fucking brilliant. Started 20 minutes late. Then they skipped through the ads and whatnot, which is great. Film starts, no moving seats or anything like that. So already the film was 20 minutes late, and then the seats don't move and whatnot. 10 minutes into the film, it stops. They fucking wind it back to the very beginning again and turn on the fucking moving seats and shit.
Oh, fucking hell.
Wow.
Wow. That sounds great.
Like, straight up, like, it was the first show of the day, and it's like, I swear to God, if you go to the first show of the day at a Cineworld, you are fucking rolling the dice on whether you are actually going to have a good experience. I swear to God.
Yeah, that's
and like, I mean, to be fair, in a way, I wish they turned. I wish they didn't have the seats on. Like, seriously, felt like I was being fucking assaulted. It was horrible.
That just sounds not very good.
It was horrible. Like, I don't get. I swear, the ones that I take Lottie to, they must just mild it down because it's kids' films. This, shaking around all over the fucking place. I swear to God. Like, that bit where they escape the fucking asylum with Naomi Harris, and it's like the car's like spinning round in like the wind or some shit. Oh, it was going nuts. And I mean, fair play, value for money. Yeah, if you like getting punched by a chair, you'll get your money's worth out of Venom 2 4DX. But yeah, I kind of just wanted you guys to go just so I could go, am I just a pussy? But we'll never know now. So, but yeah, Black Adam. It looks early days, doesn't it? Like, if that's all they're fucking showing.
Very early days, yeah. It looks like a game trailer. I'm very much in the camp of. So.
I'm very much in the Dwayne Johnson needs to take a couple of years off camp.
Yeah.
There's no anticipation there for me because I'm just bored of him.
The thing is, he's going to spend the entire build-up to marketing it basically saying it's the part he always wanted to play, it's the part he dreamed of playing, it's the part he was, that he's been most looking forward to, what is it? And the weird thing is, there might be a sincerity to that, but he says it about everything.
Yeah, he does, yeah. He's just so fake, He's a paper man.
The weird thing is, the thing is, I think we've enjoyed a lot of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson over the years on Film Bastards, but we've also started to wane a little bit on that.
There's only so much Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson you can take.
But there's essentially, they've done a TV series, haven't they? Which is a little bit like the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's "Everyone Hates Chris" thing, right? And I don't watch a lot of TV, but I do watch football on TV. And so the only time I am ever exposed to adverts or ad breaks is when I'm watching football, and because it's Sky and the Sky have picked up this TV show, it's on there, and there's a bit in the advert for it, where the kid, so the young Rock within it, is going out for a meal with his parents, and a waitress comes over and says, "Can I get you some drinks?" And he goes, "I'll have a tequila, please." And it's like, fuck off.
Oh God.
Yeah, it is. It's just, it's your brand managed to such an entity that you have stopped being a person, and you are now just a collection of brand logos. It's annoying because there's so many people that are kind of like the people that are rooting for him to get him to where he is and going, look, these are fun movies, yes they're done, and now feel a little bit like going, oh.
That's where I feel with it. It's like I really wanted him to like get to the point where he's at, but now he's like irritating. It's just irritating. I don't need to hear about his fucking Terramana tequila all the time, every time he speaks about anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I've said,
and I don't like that.
yeah, I've said my piece on him. It just like, I don't know. Like even it's just the fact that he brings stuff out with such regularity that even when something doesn't hit, like fucking Skyscraper, he's got another one coming along in a couple of months anyway, so he'll just start talking about that. It is frustrating, but it'll be interesting to see how that one goes though, because like next year, I mean, you know, one of the reasons why Indiana Jones 5 got pushed back a year is basically because next summer is fucking stacked, and next year, I think this comes out in July. You've got Batman in March, and The Flash, I want to say, in like October or November. And it's like those two, Batman and The Flash, are the ones that are going to get like all the real hype. And it's weird thinking that The Rock is basically in a film which is almost like the little one that could of these films next year. I mean, it'll be fascinating to see how it plays out, and you know, I'm willing it to be good. I mean, you know, like the Ghostbusters Afterlife reviews have come out since we last recorded, and like some people are like, it's fucking taking the piss, it's horrible. But there are some people going, no, do you know what? I fucking loved it. I was a fan of Ghostbusters 30 years ago, and I fucking loved it. And it's like, I will honestly take that film on its own merits, you know, without the Jason Reitman of it all, and I will try and do that with Black Adam as well. But I fucking need Dwayne Johnson, like you said, guys, like to stop fucking saying this is the thing that I've been building to all my life. This is going to be world changing. Blah blah blah. Dude, it's a fucking film. Yeah. You are okay. I mean, and to be fair, it is in the grand tradition of Arnold Schwarzenegger basically going, "This is the greatest thing I've ever done," for every single fucking thing that he did. But
I feel like I really believe it with Arnie though.
It's the band.
He believes it about everyone.
It's the band coming out and saying every album they release is the best album they've ever done, and then 2 years later going, "Yeah, it was shit ass album, wasn't it?"
But it's linking it like the Rampage stuff, just like, I remember when my dad would take me to the arcade and I'd play Rampage and I'd spend so many quarters playing Rampage, and now I get, it's a dream. It, you know, no, it's not, just no. You can just say, I got the script and it was a fun script and I like the director, and you can take these things on a case-by-case basis. They don't have to form part of your fucking life story every time. Jungle Cruise, you do not need to fucking say that you wanted to be in Jungle Cruise because you saw Pirates of the Caribbean 20 years ago and said, I want to make a film based on a fucking theme park ride. Yeah. You know, like, that's not your fucking life's objective, no matter how much you actually say it is. Like,
it's like, no. A lot of people didn't even know it was a fucking theme park ride at the time. And what I will say though is, moving on, Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City trailer dropped.
Fuck me, well in for this. This looks bonkers, and I love it.
It does. It looks mad. The thing is, I even as somebody who hasn't played the games but has witnessed the games and has been talked to regularly about the games.
Talked at regularly about the game.
Even I was going, this is a lot of fan service.
Oh, so much fan service.
But the other ones weren't as much.
No, they weren't. They didn't even stick to the story.
Fans enjoyed them,
yeah.
but they weren't fan service.
No.
Whereas this feels very fan service.
Oh, everyone you're looking at, you're like, oh my god, that's blah. Before it even says who it is, like, the casting seemed perfect, with the exception possibly of Kaya Scodelario. Is that right?
Yeah.
Everyone else looked like bang on, and I was like, there was one guy came up and I was like, it's fucking Carlos, and it's just, oh my god, it's just so exciting to finally have something of these games that looks like it's actually gonna be catering to fans of the games, because like you say, the other films with
Mila Jovovich.
yes, they're great and they're fun and it explores the kind of world of that, but they're not based on the games. And this really does look like it's going to be, and it looks like it's probably taken care of a few of the games within this trailer, because obviously you've got different you've got, I think the first 3 games kind of run simultaneously, don't they, Ian? You've sporadically played all 3.
Ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they do, don't they? Yeah, no, you're right.
They kind of run concurrently.
I think this one is supposed to be the first 3 games.
Yeah, and I think that's the kind of, that's good, because when you're playing them, you're like, ooh, this is happening while that's happening in that game, but this kind of looks like it's going to put all of that together, like without having to actually like use your brain. But yeah, the casting looks great. It's probably going to be shit, but I'm just really fucking excited for it. Really, really fucking excited for it.
Hey, what did you think?
Stupidly excited for it.
What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, this is massive. Oh shit! I think the day this comes out, I'm going for Christmas lunch with my boss and my kind of like peers at work, and he's straight up said, we'll go for lunch and you don't have to go back to the office after. So I will get absolutely fucking shit-faced like for like 4 or 5 hours and then go see Resident Evil.
I think you're going to have a fucking blast.
I am going to see this on the day it comes out.
Yeah, we'll go and see it the day it comes out. What else we got trailer-wise?
Honestly, how has that popped up to the top of my like most anticipated? And it's a fucking
But I mean, because the thing is, it does genuinely look like it's being made by someone who has played the games and gone, do you know what, fuck it, let's just give people what they want.
Yeah.
And it may have a bit of a limited audience because of that, but at the same time, it feels like you are just going to have a lot of people very happy. Like, you're not doing the Paul W.S. Anderson thing where it's like, I play the games, but I'm going to kind of take the concept and do something different. Like Monster Hunter, that was... yes, all right, the characters and whatnot were Monster Hunter characters, but the whole dropping Mila Jovovich into that world, much like he did with Resident Evil, it is just like, okay, you are just trying to get your girlfriend and now wife in, like, crowbar them into this fucking film. Johannes Roberts, it feels like he, like, literally is just like, yeah, let's just do Resident Evil. And even, like, the fucking typeface of the title is like the same as the original game, isn't it? So it feels like, it does feel like it's actually being made by people who give a shit, and it does look a little bit budget, don't get me wrong, but I'm looking forward to it.
But isn't it partially funded by, it's Konami, isn't it? Yeah, it's partially funded by
Capcom.
them, I think.
Okay.
So they've kind of I was reading a thing about it where they basically said it's budgeted within the game and everything like that.
Right.
And so they've said it's a different way to release a movie, in the sense that it's directly linked to this, and this.
The thing is, the sales figures for the reissues of the games have been high.
Yeah.
There's clearly still an appetite for it. It's just whether you can get those gamers out of their basements and into the cinema.
Well, that's it. It's whether or not they'll just try and torrent it in a few weeks.
Oh, yeah.
The Black Phone.
Very excited for this.
Yeah. Interesting.
Ethan Hawke's
Ooh.
become one of those kind of just, I will watch whatever he does kind of guys.
I mean, he's been like that for me since the mid-90s.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
There is a case for the trailer of the Black Phone where it is a little bit like, okay, so what's left in the film in terms of kind of plot beats,
which makes you think, is the trailer tricking you a little bit?
I hope so.
Yeah, but yeah, I did think that. I was like, it's getting quite detailed, which means that there must be a lot more to it. They're not showing that much of their hand in this.
No, because it's Bloomberg,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're not novices at releasing trailers.
No.
So
No, I'm looking forward to it, but like you say, part of it is the hawkiness of it.
the hawkiness.
Yeah.
And the bloominess.
We are big Bloom fans here. I think.
We are.
I think that's fair to say. Needle in a time stack.
See, I didn't watch this one because you warned me off it.
It's. I mean, let's not even get near the fucking the title, which makes no sense whatsoever.
No.
But yeah, the trailer for Needle in a time stack.
This is sorry.
If you put in the bottom right hand corner a Funny or Die little logo, do you think people would notice?
It's not far off it, is it? I mean, it's so in my LFF thing that I put up, I was talking about The Harder They Fall and how I'm convinced Lakeith Stanfield would not take the role in The Harder They Fall if it wasn't a film that was shot in COVID. And like there just wasn't that much about just because the character's quite small, he's quite showy, but it's quite a small role. It's like, what are you doing in that role? And it kind of feels to me with this, it's like Leslie Odom Jr. is turning into quite a big deal. He was a double Oscar fucking he was an Oscar nominee and he performed an Oscar nominated song at the Oscars last year. What is he doing in Needle in a Time Stack? And it just says to me, oh, was this shot in COVID time and there wasn't much going on?
Yeah, and he's started to be in films where he's not just also going to be singing.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, it recalls to me like there was this game that came out a couple months back, 12 Minutes, which got like a lot of shit for some dodgy sexual politics, but they had a voice cast of James McAvoy, Daisy Ridley, and Willem Dafoe, and it's like that is some like heavy. They're bored and they got this offer to voice stuff. That's what this film feels like. I will never watch Needle in a Time Stack. But, I mean, Leslie Odom Jr. and fucking Orlando Bloom fighting over a woman. What a world.
Yeah. The Lost Daughter.
Didn't see this yet. I'm looking forward to this film mightily, but I just haven't got around to the trailer.
Did you watch the trailer for this, Bex? Really interesting trailer. Gives virtually nothing away about what the film's about. But very much gives you a setting. And gives you a couple of characters and says very much, this is what these characters might be. And then that's it. And you watch it, and I watched the trailer and was like, alright, that's really interesting. And I really, it's a good cast. You know, Jessie Buckley, Olivia Colman, and Dakota Johnson is three of what the of actors who are really interesting, but also as well doing really solid work. I mean, I was watching the trailer going, this gets released I think in late December. It's getting a theatrical, and then it goes, I think, the 21st of December, I think, on Netflix. Very interesting that Netflix have done a Maggie Gyllenhaal directorial debut. But the other part of that is Olivia Colman has literally gone from being, recognisable British TV actress, comedic British TV actress, majoritively. Although she was in, before she exploded onto and winning Oscars and things, she was in Paddy Considine's Tyrannosaur, and she was incredible in that. And I think that was the first dramatic role I ever saw her in. To essentially going on to being somebody who literally every year or every 2 years could get nominated for an Academy Award, very deservedly so. This has got, she could get nominated again, written all over it. It's really, really interesting trailer.
And I mean, this is the thing with Olivia Colman. No one's fucking sick of her because she's just fucking great.
Yeah, she is. And the thing is, she's playing this. She's playing it so delicately and so well. In the fact that you mentioned it here when we reviewed The Father. If she'd not won an Academy Award for Best Actress 2 years ago, she'd have probably won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress in that film. Because she's incredible in it.
She's fucking great.
And in this, the fact that it was originally scheduled to be released in earlier in the year, and then it was pushed back to give it festival time, and now it's coming out in December, shows that they think there's something there. She's the principal character. She's Olivia Colman, so you already kind of know she's going to be fantastic. Nobody would begrudge her ending up winning 3 or 4 in the next 10 years, in the same way as Daniel Day-Lewis over a 15-20 year period won 4.
I think it's like, from an age point of view, you compare her to obviously someone like Frances McDormand.
Ow, sorry.
Quite a lot. You alright?
Yeah. Just banged my knee in the table, and I'm ever so sorry for the massive fucking sound wave the waveform that just formed. Oh. I'm all right. Carry on. Sorry.
In the fact they're both kind of on the more mature women scale, and they're taking that kind of role. And you look at the grace, respect, and dignity that Olivia Colman has, and compare it with the absolute fucking disdain that Frances McDormand shows.
But then I think Frances McDormand has been in the Hollywood system for getting on 40 years now.
Lucky her. That's not an excuse.
Whereas Olivia Colman is very much coming into it and seems to be enjoying it enough, but not. She's not gone out there and done a plucky sidekick role in a rom-com. Yeah,
she's not courting it.
No, she's not. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. She's playing it in a very. She's playing it in a very sensible way and in a very delicate way.
I do what I do. If you like it, then that's great.
Yeah, kind of thing, it would have been quite easy, because I guarantee you she's been offered generic fucking Brit in a rom-com, and here's X amount, and she's gone, well, no, do you know what? I'm fine. It's not. I'm doing quite well.
Do you know what I read that was quite interesting, actually, on that note recently? Marissa Tomei has come out and said that she regrets taking the Aunt May role.
Alright.
Oh, really?
She's only getting offers that are like the mum or the auntie role, where she's like, I still think I'm kind of like better than that, and kind of like I can do more than being the mum or the auntie. I can be like a sexy female character, but I'm not getting offered that anymore because that's what the Aunt May role.
The weird thing about Marissa Tomei is she was for years a character actor, and now she's kind of a recognisable actor, and it's that weirdest thing of stepping out that parapet. Being the Ricardos.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't too much to this, was it? It was
No,
basically,
it's
Nicole Kidman's playing Lucille Ball, get ready, you know.
Yeah, it's interesting. We've got another Aaron Sorkin written and directed film. I didn't know it was that story when I started watching the trailer, and then very quickly went, "Oh wait, this is that." Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, that could be quite fun.
Yeah, the streamers have got some good, interesting stuff coming out in December. You got Lost Daughter, Don't Look Up. This, it's December is fucking stacked. Like massive, like cinema and streamers, massively here for it. Yeah, and this just adds to it. Oh, yes, I will watch an Aaron Sorkin written and directed this. Why not?
Yep. I think 2 biggies left. Any more?
No, definitely know one of what the biggies you're talking about. I'm not so sure about the other.
Ooh, so I'll throw this one out then. Scream.
Oh, fuck, yeah, of course.
Yeah. What's our thoughts?
It just looks like a retread from the trailer. I don't want beat for beat, but then I don't think they're stupid enough to do a beat for beat.
I think they are.
Oh, okay.
There's got to be something else.
You'd hope, wouldn't you? Because the trailer's crap. It looks like it's going for let's just do loads of gore, but in a Scream movie. But that's not what the Scream movies are.
No, they were clever.
No, well, I don't know.
They were for their time.
Number 2 was clever.
There is speculation. There is speculation that some of the shots in this are in the film actually shots from the reboot of Stab.
Which would make sense, but then would also be a little bit... Didn't you kind of do that a little bit already in 3?
Well, 3 was just like another Stab sequel, wasn't it?
Yeah, it just... I don't know. I'm intrigued enough. The thing is, with this new Scream movie, what I'm most looking forward to is going back and watching the Scream movies.
Yes. Yeah, I would agree with you on that one.
Because, yeah, you get to watch number 1 again, and it's great. I hate number 2. I quite enjoy number 3, and I'm intrigued to go back and watch number 4 now.
That's a fucking discussion we need to have one day then. I didn't know you hated Scream 2.
Yeah, I can't stand it. But I really like Scream 3. But part of that is because Parker Posey's in it.
You do like
Okay, we 100% gonna do a patron thing on the Scream films.
I've been holding back off watching Scream because I was like, no, because we're gonna do it. We're gonna fucking do it. Yeah. So next one, The Batman.
I mean, go on then, eh? The thing I'm least interested in any of this trailer is the Batman.
Yeah.
But I think everything else looks fucking fantastic, and I'm intrigued to see just what R. Pats is going to do here. So, yeah, why not? Let's go.
Yeah, the only bit, and I said the student of X after we finished watching the trailer, was the only bit of that I wasn't vibing with, to be down with the kids, was the R. Pats as Batman. But I very much think that's a trailer thing rather than a worry going forward.
They need to do something with this that isn't just a fucking retread of all the fucking Batman movies. And the trailer does not sell it well. I've been really excited for this, and the trailer just left me feeling really disappointed.
I read that essentially it's a noir in the vein of The Crow.
See, that's the movie I want.
But it's a Batman movie, but it's more a detective Batman.
See, that's the movie I want, but that's not what this trailer is for.
I got vibes of that. I got vibes of Colin Farrell having a fucking laugh.
There was one shot where Colin Farrell looked like Colin Farrell. And
Yeah,
I think
he does. He looks like Colin Farrell when he used to be Cokehead Farrell running away from the police.
I think it's the wide-eyed shot when he's in the car crash. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that the one who's going to sell it is going to be Riddler. He's going to be the real. Oh, fucking hell, that's fucking creepy.
Yeah.
And Dano, I think, can do
God,
creepy.
Yeah.
Really
Dano
well.
can do creepy without trying.
Yeah.
I mean, that Riddler poster that came out is fantastic.
Oh god, yeah. It's a beautiful looking poster. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to Batman. In the sense,
I still am, but the trailer wasn't great.
in the sense that I think it's going. I hope it's 2.5 hours long, and that it is just bleak and really dark.
Oh, Morbius. We saw a Morbius trailer.
We did see a Morbius
They're still
trailer.
trying to pretend it's a real movie that exists.
Not a real movie, is it?
But
Well, I don't know.
But,
You see,
like,
we said
what,
that
a
about
new-
New Mutants, and New Mutants happened. We said
Did it
that
though?
about...
Did it though? Did it though? Or did we all go to the same Darren Brown show and not fucking realise?
And we said that about No Time to Die. No Time to Die happened. So maybe Morbius is a real thing.
I don't think it is.
So anyway, we saw a trailer for Morbius.
But was it just like the trailer that literally... God, that trailer's got to be like 18 months old at this point.
I haven't seen it before.
It had slightly...
Oh,
more
no,
bits in
really?
it.
Okay.
It had a little bit more Leto torso.
Yeah, there was some Leto torso.
Yeah.
Now I'm all in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was some Leto torso that Becky literally grabbed my leg and squeezed it.
I mean, he's a good-looking guy
Yeah.
with his shirt off.
I didn't quite need the grab my leg and going, oh,
I mean, fair play to him.
at that moment.
Jordan Catalano's come a long way.
You want your 30-second to ahs, do you?
Right, any other trailers?
Not
No.
for me.
Should we review a fucking movie? Venom, Let There Be Carnage. A sequel that we didn't think we'd get when people announced Venom, and then Venom did really, really well. Tom Hardy's back. Michelle Williams is back for a little bit longer than I think people thought she was going to be back for. Woody Harrelson is back, but they've brought Reed Scott, Stephen Graham, and Naomi Harris along for the ride. And Andy Serkis is directing this one. Not only that, Robert Richardson is a cinematographer.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like the simulation just went. There we fucking go. Venom fucking 2, Let There Be Carnage. Oh, by the way, it's 90 minutes long.
Martin it.
Yep. It's nice when a blockbuster is that. So, let me have a look. Let's see what the IMDb synopsis says, because that's how I do synopsis now, because it's just easier. So, let's have a look. Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Eddie Brock attempts to reignite his career by interviewing serial killer Cletus Cassidy, who becomes the host for Symbiote Carnage and escapes prison after a failed execution. Well, there's more to it than that, isn't there? But, Ian, you got raped by a chair, so I want to come to you second. Becky. Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Was this a big old Saturday morning cartoon of a movie or not?
Yeah, it fucking was, but with more violence and blood and carnage, I guess. But it's a lot of fun. And the thing is, I think, and we'll probably get into it because we're obviously kind of doing this in reverse, but we rewatched Venom in the run-up to watching Let There Be Carnage. And I think the problem that Venom has, as good of a film as it is that it gets stuck in the middle of trying to be Deadpool and a Marvel movie. and it kind of pulling at itself in that. Whereas this one just goes, nah, let's just go the Deadpool route. Let's just go stupid and violent and nasty and stupid, but it works, and that's what this movie needed to be. There's elements of it that I didn't necessarily get on with as much. Shriek, I think, was used badly. I think there was space for it to be in there as a character, but I don't think she was used well. But I think the kind of the Venom and Eddie elements worked really, really well. But also the kind of Venom gradually getting to the point where he accepted. Is it Dan?
What?
Michelle Williams.
Sure.
Yeah.
That was also kind of fun. Like it was just a really good, well-rounded, well thought out movie for me. I really, really enjoyed it.
Ian, Venom, Let There Be Carnage. And would it work better if this was done as almost like a buddy movie that was a lot more Eddie and Venom?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is exactly my problem with the film. That I swear, if they didn't have that post-credits bit of Carnage at the or Cletus Cassidy at the end of the first one, I wonder whether they would have even have used him in this one, or whether they would have just embraced the kind of buddy movie element of it even more.
Ooh,
this film
really
is
good point, actually. That I didn't think about that.
There has to be a baddie though.
But I don't even know if there does.
I think there does.
I mean, I don't know. There could be some other kind of conflict, or at least it's. I suppose my problem with the film is that, you know, we've been waiting for a couple of years now for the Woody Harrelson Carnage, and I watched the film and I'm like, yeah, I'm not that interested in him because the film doesn't seem that interested in him, but I want more of Eddie and Venom. I like Eddie and Venom and them like fighting and then coming together at the end. I'm not bothered about Shriek at all. Like, I think Naomi Harris, bless her, like, yeah, it's just given fuck all to do here. Like, it's pretty weird that Naomi Harris agreed to do that role, which is just a bit of an indictment of what Naomi Harris is probably getting offered at the moment. Lest we forget, she got fucking Best Supporting Actor nominated for actress nominated for 3 scenes in Moonlight, and now she's the second fiddle villain in the Venom sequel. I feel for her, and it just, yeah, it felt to me like Minimum Viable Product, the movie. It was literally, is this enough? You know, and I get that people are enjoying it, and I think that's great, you know, and there are definitely elements of this film that you can hang your hat on, don't get me wrong, but by the end of it, it was just like, right, yeah, fine, okay, that felt like an inconsequential comic book movie, which is almost refreshing considering every single MCU film seems to have something connecting to something else. And I've got to say, the most worrying part for me is the mid-credits bit where it's just like, oh god, alright. So, you know, spoiler alert, we're going to have Spider-Man going up against Venom for the first 2 acts before they have to unite against the common threat. Great.
Yeah, that's it. What I would much prefer is the end of Venom at the Carnage, where it's like we're going to get the adventures of Venom and Eddie, and just them sort of living their lives and trying to get, what is it, and doing that as a third movie would be a lot more interesting than
Not a movie though.
than trying to tie it into the Spider-Man thing.
Yes, I agree with you there, but like as much as you can say, I'd rather just watch a movie about Eddie and Venom. That's not a movie. That's a post-credit scene. That's a Thor with that fucking guy that you were living with kind of scene.
No,
it's just.
I would watch a 95-minute movie
Of them just making breakfast.
of them fucking going on holiday.
Them on the run.
Yeah.
Do what they like the before mid credits kind of goes with, that they are going to be a lethal protector. They're going to go on the run or something.
Man,
I love the
with the lethal protector thing, that fucking slayed me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how casually it's dropped in earlier with him saying we will be the lethal protector, and he goes, that's very 80s. And then
They both simultaneously say it later.
And then they both say it later on. It was like, that's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you could do that. I mean, if the Spider-Man Venom film, I would love it if by the end of the first act, it's like, right, Eddie likes Peter, Venom doesn't like Peter. Let's go with that dynamic or something like, or the other way round. You know, like let's have something like that, and then the internal conflict is one of them likes Spider-Man, the other one doesn't.
Yeah.
Or so, you know, instead of it being basically Godzilla versus Kong, which it feels like it's going to be.
Yeah. Like you said, this film seems not very interested in the antagonists.
Well, no, it knows that where its money lies is with the protagonists.
Can I posit something about the film on a whole? Not the film on a whole, but is Andy Serkis a good director?
Yeah. He's brought in to do a job, isn't he?
He is, but it just seems like...
I mean, who knows with Marvel how much input they've got there.
But this isn't a Marvel movie, it's a Sony Marvel movie. It's a Venom movie.
No, but I mean, look, he's brought in because he knows how to deal with somebody talking to a CG self.
Yeah, and as well, there's very much an Anglophile feel to this movie that comes from, you know, you've got Tom Hardy there as a story credit, as a producer, and you know the star. Serkis is on as the director, with the exception of Woody Harrelson, who himself is a freely admitting Anglophile. You've got a lot of, there's a heavy British cast in there, even down to
well, Naomi Harris is British.
what's his name turning up as the priest. Is it Reece Shearsmith?
Oh, Reece Shearsmith.
Yeah. Even as that turning up there, you know, Reece Shearsmith doesn't turn up in Venom to Let There Be Carnage if it's not directed by Andy Serkis. That's there. I enjoyed it enough and I had a good amount of fun with it. But the least interesting bits are the bits that are there to sell the trailer. And like I think you said there, Ian, Carnage, Woody Harrelson's Carnage doesn't have an awful lot to do or establish.
But without Carnage, you don't get the line in the trailer of, that is a red one.
But
you never get any explanation as to what that means.
But even that, Carnage technically is Venom's son.
Yeah.
But they put no interest in that whatsoever.
I want to know what that is a red one actually means, like what a red one is.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like, oh, it's a red one. I don't like red. No, I'm going to get back in. I didn't. really
No, I
necessarily
reckon
think it meant
means something,
anything.
Like the host's got certain qualities, and it may imbue the.
Yeah,
I reckon there's something there.
It can do more. Clearly, Carnage can do more
than Venom.
than Venom can do.
But why? And that's never explained. That frustrated me about this film.
And then there's a bit where Venom literally turns around at Eddie and says, "Right, time to die." And I think Eddie says like,
"Yeah, that's the spirit."
That's spirit. He's like, "No, we are going to die."
Yeah.
And there's that element to it, but yeah, I mean, I am Geostorm with this, but in a nice way, Geostorm.
Yeah.
In the fact that I'm very happy for it to be Geostorm. I hope the next one leans more into it's just Venom and Carnage Venom and Carnage go to Miami. That's what I want from the next one. I don't want Venom and Carnage, Venom and Eddie up against Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's what I don't want. I want Venom and Eddie go to...
What if it's that timeline where Spider-Man's still a baddie?
I don't care. I don't want them in a Spider-Man movie.
No.
I want them in a Venom and Eddie movie.
You want twins?
I kind of want that. I want a comedy that is just them, just fucking, I don't know, fucking Venom learns to drive and Eddie has to pretend that he can't drive so Venom can get a fucking driving license for no reason at all.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great.
That's the type of thing I want. I don't care about them going up against... I don't want this shoehorning it into the fucking MCU.
Yeah, but you need to look at where they are at with the comic books. I don't like Sexy Venom, but Sexy Venom is clearly in the comic books, so there she is.
I don't mind Sexy Venom.
Of course you don't. But, I don't know, it's definitely not shit for me. I really, really enjoyed this. It was a really good fun time. And I was kind of not looking forward to going to see this. I'm really looking forward to watching Halloween Kills. And look how that fucking turned out.
Ian, where are you with it?
I mean, I'm touching cloth. It just if Harrelson and Harris kind of brought more to the table. Like Woody Harrelson, I thought was really disappointing. Like he's not really bringing an awful lot. Yeah. I mean, Michelle Williams, you kind of almost didn't need her in there, really. It'd be weird.
Get all the glorious Venom versus Dan things.
That's it. You say you want like a Venom
that's true.
Eddie Brock movie, and then you say you don't want the Michelle Williams bits. Well,
No. I'm not saying I don't want it. It's just I'm like no, because you're right. It does provoke some good Dan stuff.
the dance.
Yeah, I mean,
The Dan stuff is very good. The Venom saying Dan proved himself kind of useful, but he was useless.
We didn't need him.
Yeah, I mean, touching cloth, going towards definitely not shit. You know, I am. I think, you know, yeah. I mean, this is the thing. It's like I'm a 5 out of 10 on it. I liked half the film. I didn't like the other half of the film. But it's like different. It's like 2 minutes here, I liked. 5 minutes there, I didn't like. But 5 minutes later on, I did like. But then 2 minutes later on, I didn't. It really is that for me. You know. So yeah, I mean, touching cloth.
I think that's the very definition of touching cloth.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Our audience
quite.
poll: definite shit 39%, touching cloth 11%, shit 28%, and Geostorm 22%.
Yeah.
That's quite middling, I would say.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Totally fair. It is definitely one of those things that you're just not going to get everyone to agree on.
Oh god, no.
Yeah, you're just not. So yeah.
Hey Hannah, you know, I think you really can't beat a good rewatch of a TV show. Would you agree with that, love?
Oh, yes, I would.
Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I think during, global pandemics, storms, all of these things, it's quite nice to just sit down and burn through something that you've seen a million times.
Absolutely, nothing like a binge watch.
Star Trek.
Babylon 5.
Because you could sit there for hours looking at serial killer documentaries.
Absolutely, that
Netflix.
doesn't make you a weird person at all.
It doesn't. Yeah, you could watch documentaries that all seem to be about women killing men.
Love you, darling.
You could put off watching Daredevil for the 30th time.
Harry Potter.
But really, you can't beat immersing yourself in the warm jumper of a rewatch of a show or a franchise.
Beloved franchise.
A beloved franchise.
Lord of the Rings.
Twin Peaks. From VHS compilations recorded off television, with the ad breaks, cut out of course, to DVD box sets of Sex and the City and, I don't know, Smallville.
Farscape.
Quantum Leap. To giving up finding new content on Netflix and just having a comfort trawl through Star Trek The Next Generation or Parks and Recreation. I think that we can all agree.
There's a lot to be said for that.
You can't beat a good rewatch. So, with that in mind, join
Hannah
and Mike from Chinstroker vs. Punter as we burn through some of our favourite franchises and share our immediate reactions to each instalment in both spoiler and non-spoiler sections. To do that, do a search for the Rewatch Project with Hannah and Mike on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whichever your favourite podcast provider may be, or go directly to anchor.fm/rewatch project. We are proud members of the Pod Syndicate family of podcasts.
Have you ever wondered what so-called family films will scar your kids forever? Putting 4 and 5-year-olds in front of this movie, it's like, if they didn't know what death was before this, they're going to know it after it.
They're going to know it after it, and they're going to be freaking terrified.
And they're going to be questioning you.
Yeah.
Or do you have the slight suspicion that your loved one has a cold, dead heart?
Yeah, the Dark Knight has got like all the orphans, and like, oh no, we're going to die. They did not build up those orphans at all. In my head, it's like, kill them.
Then look no further. The His Film Her Movie podcast is the show for you. It's the movie podcast that celebrates the contrasting cinematic tastes of its hosts. So join Jordan and Lauren every week on their unique journey through the land of the silver screen. So if you're looking for a few laughs, some fun film related chat, then get involved. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Ian, what have you been watching?
So, I'll finish up my curtailed LFF. I'm not going to go all sob story, but just to explain, I put something on the Patreon feed about it, but my mum was in a car crash, so I had to come back from LFF a day early to deal with some stuff. She's fine. And then the day I was supposed to come back from LFF, Donna tested positive for COVID. So that really curtailed my focus on LFF. I think it's probably fair to say. So I didn't get to as many LFF films as I was planning to, but did manage to get 2 more LFF screened films in. So what a fucking contrast this is, right? First one was the Family Gala at LFF, Ron's Gone Wrong. So, this is Disney released, 20th Century Studios released film from a new UK animation house, Locksmith Animation. And it is the story of a world where the Bee-Bot has just become the hottest product on the market, and it's basically a thing that likes what you like, and you can turn it into whatever you want to turn it into. And because it's a Disney release, you've got Darth Vader Bee-Bots and Captain America Bee-Bots and things like that in there. You've got this kid who lives with this, his family are not very well to do. His dad buys a broken Bee-Bot, and it is Ron, voiced by Zach Galifianakis, and he's gone wrong. But it basically, the true meaning of friendship is discovered through this robot. Instead of having a robot that just likes everything that you like, it's a robot with its own personality, blah, 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 blah. Engaging enough. Took Lottie to see it and a couple of her friends, and they really enjoyed it. Just to say, yes, I did go to the cinema even though my wife had COVID. I did lateral flow tests literally every single fucking day last week, and I'm double vaxxed and wore a mask throughout. Lottie also did lateral flows before she went out. So all of that shit is compliant, but we're still taking steps, but at the same time trying to live our lives, and Lottie isolating again for another 10 days is not something I could bear. So anyway,
I don't think
and she's allowed to go to
gonna
fucking
accuse
school.
Literally the most nervous person in the world of being lax on their regulations.
What? Who's the most nervous person in the world?
You.
I'm not the most nervous person in the world.
Oh, with COVID, you're very cautious.
I try, but probably not as cautious as I was with that. But like I say, lateral flows literally every single fucking day. So, and a PCR last week as well. So, yeah. It was perfectly entertaining. It's weird. It's like it's got a first act, no second act, and 2 third acts. Like, it's got this bit that happens at the end of the second act, which I really thought was the end of the film, and then it just went on for another 25 minutes. And it was because I was thinking, that's kind of a weirdly low-stakes way of ending the film, but it does feel quite climactic. And then, no, we're just going to carry on. Did feel a little bit low-budgety, if I'm honest. Like, reading after that, it wasn't like it was a Blue Sky Studio thing. It was literally a UK animation studio with their first project ever.
It's Rupert Murdoch's daughter's company, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because, yeah, I think this one had been... Yeah, and this one had been bubbling away, I think, before the Fox Disney merger.
Yeah.
So actually, that's really not a surprise. Okay, that makes sense. But it's fine, you know. Like I say, for kids, good fun. And yeah, you know, I laughed a few times. A job done, really. So that's Ron's Gone Wrong. So that was an LFF film. Do you know what else was an LFF film? Titan.
Go on.
I watched on the same day Ron's Gone Wrong and Titan. No, and Becky, I know. Don't worry. It's all good, honestly. So Titan, however you want to pronounce it. I had the pleasure of going to a screening of this last Saturday.
This is a body horror one, isn't it, Ian?
Yeah. I mean,
it's a body horror that also has a woman fucking a car in it, from what I understand. So it sounds like anti-Ian Nip, this.
the thing is, right, all the way through, I was either going, what the fuck's happening now? Just giggling to myself. Or going, blimey, Charlie, that's a bit rough in a couple of moments. And then just occasionally, like, that's some really interesting direction. It is fucking bonkers. And not necessarily in the visceral ways that you think it's gonna be. But it just... There's some random fucking shit in this film. So basically, right, I suppose the story is... I don't know where to start, to be honest. It starts off with this kind of, like, one shot going through this, like, car show where all these women are, like, dancing on the cars and there are, like, attendees, like, fucking lapping it up and whatnot. It's this great fucking one-shot thing. And then it... actually, no, it doesn't start with that. It starts with, like, a 20 years beforehand sequence, but anyway. And then it focuses on the woman at the heart of the film, and she's doing this dance and whatnot. She is set up as a character who is doing some murders, if I'm honest. And then she fucks a car. She does. And then she runs away, and she sees this picture of this kid who went missing 10 years ago, this boy, who is that the authorities are trying to find. So she shaves her head, and she pretends to be this boy. And his dad comes to collect her, and then she goes to live with him. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's available on VOD now, isn't it?
In the US, yeah.
In the US. So, I will be watching it over the weekend.
Okay, yeah. Let's review Titan next week.
I'm very much up for that.
Bex, are you going to watch it as well?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Cool. Okay. I'll just say, I really enjoyed it. I'm not going to say it's like the film of the year or anything like that. Like, for me, like, the fact it won the Palme d'Or is such, we're going to fucking give it to this and see how people react to that energy. And I kind of love it. It is some fucking, I do not care, like, who I annoy or offend with this. Just, here you go. It was so fucking entertaining. Just entertaining is the word. Like, it really was. Just fucking balmy. Like, really enjoyably bonkers.
One thing I've heard a lot of people say about it, across it, is there seems to be a lot of people saying, I don't know if that was good or shit.
I get that. The thing is,
I kind of enjoyed it.
there is enough filmmaking skill in there, and like really good shot composition and great lighting and all that good stuff, that you know that you're in the hands of someone who fucking cares and is trying to make something. I've got no idea what Julia Ducournau was trying to say, and I don't care. I just thought it was fucking entertaining. Like, don't get me wrong, there were a couple of body horror-y bits where I was like, fucking hell. But in that way, not that, oh, this is grim kind of way. Which is, and I think that's what's intended. Fascinated to see what you guys made of it. But yeah, I liked it. I like it more talking about it, to be honest.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, so I'll race through some stuff. So obviously, other LFF stuff. There was a whole separate podcast to listen to, so I won't bother going through that. So I did me a actually, yeah, no, I've only got a couple of things really. Okay, cool. Yeah, I talked about Black Widow before, didn't I? No, or did I not? I rewatched Black Widow. Black Widow's not great. Yeah, it's not great. Did me a space double bill. Watched Apollo 13, which is great.
Yeah, I've shocking. Not watched that since cinema.
It's, oh man, it is. Like, you're just in the hands of a Hollywood royalty all throughout that film. It's great. It's just a great American Hollywood film about triumphing over adversity, but it's not necessarily America rah rah either. Yeah, it's a terrific movie. So's First Man. First watch since cinema. And I remember liking First Man, but maybe not necessarily loving it. I still don't think I love it, but that film is fucking interesting, and it is made by... Literally, I think Damien Chazelle could only have made that film in that moment where he'd just won an Oscar for directing La La Land, and Ryan Gosling was super, super hot shit. And here's what I'm going to do with that steam. You know, this mix of cinematic, like, terror in the action sequences, and then this just, like, really down-to-earth and, yes, Malikian look at kind of, like, American, almost kind of suburban-y army life in the 60s. It's terrific. It's a great film. It is a little bit too long. It's like 2 hours 20, and it doesn't need to be that. It doesn't. But the way it kind of paints the amazing things these guys are doing against their normal lives, and just the way that, like, death around Neil Armstrong just becomes a thing that he has to deal with. Whether it's his workmates or his daughter, he just has to fucking deal with it and focus on the job. It's really very, very well handled. Yeah, I really fucking like First Man. And him going out of the capsule and it turning into full frame IMAX on the iTunes version is some, like, fucking bravura shit. Yeah, I really like First Man.
Ooh,
and
I've been meaning to rewatch actually for a while, to be honest.
Yeah, I recommend it. Yeah, absolutely.
I think when I first watched it, I kind of watched it as I need to watch this to finish the end of year list thing, and I think I kind of watched it to watch it rather than watched it, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. My last one. First time watch. Gary Marshall's Runaway Bride.
God.
Another film that I've not seen since the cinema.
Who'd you go with?
Nice.
I actually went with Macca on this one. I didn't go on my own.
So tragic.
Yeah.
Like, when did this come out?
Terrific.
1999. Yeah,
So
me and Macca went to see them.
We were together when this came out, and you went with Macca.
Yeah, we were, yeah. I think we literally just went to see it because we happened to finish college early that day, and just went to the cinema.
Should have walked on by and gone to the pub.
We did afterwards.
Well, no, but Bex, to be fair, I mean, you missed out on one of the greatest jokes that there has ever been in a film.
Go on.
So it is the greatest example of a joke in a product placement I've ever fucking seen. Julia Roberts runs out of the church, jumps onto a FedEx lorry, and then someone says, "Where's she going?" And Hector Elizondo replies, "I don't know, but she'll get there tomorrow before 11 a.m.
Oh, God.
Yep. And the thing is, it's Hector Elizondo delivers it fantastically.
It's so good. I mean, seriously, it's the only thing I remember of Runaway Bride. Well, actually, no. I mean, saying that, like, the positioning of where they get together in the film is actually, I don't know, I wasn't expecting it at that point. I don't know. I mean, Richard Gere is an incredibly attractive dude, and Julia Roberts is an incredibly attractive woman, and it's, you know, they've got kooky friends around them, and you know, it's fun enough.
It's, from what I remember of it, it's fun enough. It is on the cusp of when Julia Roberts started to lose her charm a little bit.
Did she ever have any for you?
Yeah, she was really quite charming.
For you?
For me, not as much, but
No.
she was. I can see the charm there. But yeah, I remember Runaway Bride, it being the time when she started to become a little bit of a dick.
The star was waning.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Whereas Richard Gere is always very charismatic and very watchable.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, I enjoyed it, and that fucking that line is just incredible. Like Hector Elizondo, I love that guy, and the sterling work. So yeah, Runaway Bride. That's it for me.
Bex, what are you watching your own?
Okay, so I've got a few, not millions. I watched The Haunting. The Haunting's become a bit of a weird curiosity for me since, obviously, being a big fan of the Mike Flanagan TV show, The Haunting of Hill House. I find it quite interesting.
Bex, can we stop and do a retro review of that next week? Because I really want to watch The Haunting.
Yeah, okay.
I will also watch that as well.
One thing I will say is it's very interesting from my point of view, seeing two different people's different adaptations of a really quite old work. But yeah, we'll get into it more next week.
It's on Netflix, isn't it?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I know I've seen it on Netflix. It was like, I want to give that another go. Yeah, let's talk about that next week. Nice.
Okay, we'll rewatch it then. Yeah. I'll rewatch it with you. I watched American Mary because it's nasty and it's fucking...
How's it hold up?
It's really good, actually. I was quite worried as to whether it would just...
be a bit of a zeitgeist thing at a time.
Yeah. No, it's very good. I really enjoyed it on rewatch. Because obviously it's a few years old now. Like, it's coming up 10 years old.
A decade old.
And you know, nasty horror at the time was more our kind of vibe, whereas I think maybe we've softened in our older age.
I think between the three of us we have, yeah.
I think, yeah.
Well, I'm bringing your average down there, I think.
I mean, I wasn't going to say that because I didn't want to be mean, but yeah. But I think I'm probably more, out of the three of us, the one that is like...
more forgiving.
Yeah. American Mary is fucking great. It's very empowering.
It's the one I might give a rewatch.
Yeah. I watched a movie called There's Someone Inside Your House. This is on Netflix. Have either of you seen anything about this?
Yeah, I've seen things about it, but yeah, how is it?
Shit. It's fucking shit. So, like, I really despise the use of woke as a pejorative term. Caring about shit and not being a bad person is not an insult. But this has basically taken woke as its fucking MO and then just created a movie around it rather than displaying kind of tolerant
woke sensibility.
Yeah, it's just taken that as a thing, and it's honestly genuinely awful. It's an awful film. I fully hated it. Like, I struggled to get through to the end of it. Basically, the synopsis...
This is usually your
yeah, the graduating class at Osborne High is being targeted by a master assailant intent on exposing the darkest secret of each victim, and only a group of misfit outsiders can stop the killings. It's just genuinely crap. It's painfully bad. I would love one of you to watch it so that we can compare notes, but it was just really, it felt really pandering. Like, all of the misfits were like within certain kind of circles.
Yeah.
And I mean, to be fair, the main character, not so much. Hers was like a genuine thing, but the rest of them, it was just, oh, this guy's been bullied because he's gay, and this guy's been bullied because, God, what was it? I can't remember now, off the top of my head, but it was all like stuff that is very much talking points, and it just, I really hated it, and I don't normally hate movies like that. I'm very, very forgiving of horror movies, even if they're pretty crap, but this one was just past that point for me.
Fair.
Really, really bad. Really hated it.
The thing is, Bex, I mean, like, you are one of the most forgiving people on horror that I know, so I know that there's no point in Mark and I watching it, because if you didn't like it, and I'm not saying that to take the piss or anything like that. I love how forgiving you are, and you're willing to just give these things a go, and if they're fun, they're fun. You know, so if you're saying there's not really anything of worth here, that is a huge don't touch it with a barge pole for me.
There's no merit to it whatsoever.
Okay, yeah.
So speaking of forgiving, I watched the original Pete's Dragon in preparation for watching the new Pete's Dragon.
Which was the audible, but we're
pushing that back a week.
Pushing it back a week just because
Next week, baby.
Because
Life.
Yeah. We're gonna put this life. Yeah.
I really fucking love the original Pete's Dragon.
Had you seen this before?
No, I've never seen
You've
it before.
never seen Pete's Dragon before?
No.
Wow.
It's fucking great. Wow. There's music and there's jazz hands and it's all just very fun. See, I really like old school live action Disney, and especially when like you've got the shit where it melds the live action with the cartoon and stuff like that as well. It's just a lot of fun. Like it's not. Do you know what? Yeah, it probably is really fucking well made for the time. But you watch it now and you're like, oh, that looks a bit shonky. And it's not very well acted for the most part, but it is an absolute fucking riot. It is so much fun and I really enjoyed it. I'm really excited to watch the next one. Although I did watch the first like 10 minutes of it and I was like, well, do you know what? The original, you didn't see his fucking parents die. So he was just an orphan when it started. So I didn't like that. So that's a negative point for the remake.
But what I will say is the remake is staggeringly beautiful at times.
Has it got a better production value than the original?
Oh my, yes.
Off of 1977?
Yes.
Well, you'd expect that. And then I rewatched Pet Sematary because...
How did that hold up?
Really well, actually. Yeah, it's really good. I think... The deviations that it's taken with like the kids in the masks and stuff like that, it adds a creepiness to it that. Oh.
Stay.
Oh, that's Lottie in the background. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I don't want to say anything that's going to traumatise her. That's all.
Oh no, forgive me. I've got my AirPods on. You're good.
Okay. So yeah, it adds a creepiness that you don't get from the original movie or from the book. And you still have some ankle trauma, so you know that's still in there. That's great. I think John Lithgow is really good as Jug Crandall.
Where's John Lithgow?
It's just, you know what? It's a fucking banger. His Pet Sematary. Good. Really enjoyed it on rewatch.
I haven't watched anything solo because new job. We rewatched Venom, didn't we? Which we're not going to cover too much because we spoke about Venom, the Carnage. I really like Venom. More I watch it. But the Riz Ahmed stuff I don't give a shit about.
No, I think the only failing that like I said earlier, I think the only failing that Venom has is trying to be a Marvel adjacent movie rather than trying to be a Deadpool adjacent movie. And I think the new one fixes that for me.
Yeah. That's nothing against Riz Ahmed. It's just that bit of the story I don't give a shit about.
Nah, you fucking hate Riz Ahmed. You were telling me earlier.
We rewatched. we rewatched Anaconda.
We did rewatch Anaconda.
Yep.
That film is fucking batshit.
It's
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fun ride. It's nice watching a movie before fucking
John Voight was
before
a bad dickhead.
John Voight decided to just go full old white American man.
He's still a bit of a bad dickhead in this though, with his inconsistent accent.
He is, but I think that this is the last moment where he was a decent actor.
Yeah.
I don't think that he's now just become a bad dickhead and he's a good actor. I think he's a terrible actor nowadays. Whereas in this, he's not that. He's not great, but at least he's kind of like fucking pre-fugitive Tommy Lee Jones fun.
May I present for the defence the two National Treasure films, which I believe were after Anaconda?
But he's crap in them.
Oh.
I genuinely think he's crap. I don't think he's a very good actor.
You can almost see Helen Mirren cringing when she has to act opposite him.
Yes. But it's got Ice Cube and Eric Stoltz and Jennifer Lopez and her bottom.
Did you say pre-nose job, J-Lo?
It is pre-nose job, J-Lo, yeah.
She's cute in this.
She is, but it's an
rather than just a full-blown fucking hottie.
It's an awful lot of fun. So we also finally our first film in the new house.
Our first movie in the new house, and this will shame me forever.
Yeah.
We just needed some.
We did do
popcorn
well.
in
We needed something we could just watch that was essentially empty calories, didn't we?
We needed candy floss.
Yeah. But we also wanted to watch something new, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
We didn't want to watch something that we'd already watched. What did we watch, Becky?
We watched the new 2019 Charlie's Angels, didn't we, Mark?
Yes.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yes.
It's crap.
Yeah.
Oh.
Really crap.
Oh, I quite liked it.
It has strong Dead or Alive vibes to it.
But we love Dead or Alive.
But at least Dead or Alive knows it's crap.
That's true.
All right, come on. Kristen Stewart is having fun in that film.
Yes,
Come on.
and I enjoyed it for that. I
And-
enjoyed
and-
Kristen Stewart doing something bubblegummy.
She's having an awful lot of fun in what essentially is the pilot to a TV show that never happened.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I think that's probably fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, we're all Bosleys. Bosley's like a code name. Doesn't make sense, even within your own movie.
No.
The Patrick Stewart is the bad guy is so obvious, it's untrue.
Oh, but it's Patrick Stewart. That made me really uncomfortable.
The problem is,
I would have taken Elizabeth Banks being the baddie way easier than
the
Patrick
problem
Stewart.
is, it's crap, and it is crap, but I was kind of fine with it.
It's fun enough crap.
I had a good enough time with
This
it.
is probably what I would class as a Geostorm.
Do you know what? It might not be the only time I watch it.
No.
I
would
might
probably
watch
rewatch
it
this,
again.
yeah.
I mean, Mark, to be fair, there is some fucking dreck that you have watched 5 times.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. Fair enough. I really like
On
Jonathan.
that note, I might let him watch The Loft tonight.
I really like Jonathan Tucker as the bad guy. He was. I like the fact that at no point does the actual concept of actual law enforcement exist in the Charlie's Angels movies.
The thing is, it's really annoying because you get this like whole bit at the start, that whole first section,
Yeah.
and Kristen Stewart gets to be really kind of cool and badass and fighty.
Yeah.
There's none of that in the rest of the movie. They're not that badass, and the minimum you expect from a Charlie's Angels movie is that the angels are going to be kind of badass, or the minimum you should be able to expect.
Yeah.
And then not really. They're all kind of shit. They fuck up a lot.
They do fuck up a lot. They get a lot wrong. My biggest issue is you're watching it going, you all look like you're about 15 and you're in your mid-20s. It was a bit... It felt like a pilot to be a TV show that never got made.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
What else did we watch, Becky? What else did we watch? Did we watch possibly the film of the year?
I mean, it's not, is it?
I mean, it could be.
It's not, though.
It might be in my top 10.
It's fun trash and it's enjoyable.
It might be in my top 10.
But that's just because you're you.
Yes.
We watched Vacation Friends.
Comedic genius John Cena's Vacation Friends.
Oh, do I need to watch this at the weekend?
you
I mean,
probably
talk
do,
about
actually,
it. It doesn't
yeah.
need to be main review, but yeah, okay.
Do you want us to pause and you can watch it at the weekend? We'll do it next week.
No.
Okay.
We've got enough next week. We're good. Yeah. Sorry.
So, Vacation Friends is on Disney Plus in 4K.
It's so shit, but it's so fun.
Wow, it's not. Shit. And I am not joking here. I genuinely had a fucking great time with Vacation Friends. So what happens is, you've got Lil Rel Howery and his bride-to-be, played by...
Yvonne
Yvonne Orji? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that? Yeah. They go on holiday.
It's
and
not even that hard of a name to pronounce.
but you still fucking questioned it.
Not really.
They go on a holiday to Mexico, and Lil Rel Howery has got this. I'm not going to too spoil it, but this is trailer stuff. They've got this big plan of this way he's going to propose and all bits like that.
He's a very much of a that guy, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's everything has to be planned down. And then they get there and everything just starts to go wrong. And why is everything starting to go wrong? Because their room gets trashed because the people in the room above them leave their fucking hot tub running, don't they?
Sounds like something we would do.
Yeah.
We are basically those people, you know that, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
The people above them are John Cena and Meredith Hagner. And they are just out to party and have a laugh.
Woo!
So they say to them, look, you're gonna, you're gonna get engaged. We got, you come and stay in our suite.
Stay in our presidential suite.
Yeah. And then accidentally give them cocaine.
We're not accidentally.
But not accidentally. They accidentally took cocaine that was given to them because they cut the margarita glasses with cocaine.
Which, if you had it, why would you not?
Yeah. Flash forward a few months after they've all got friends, and they turn up at their wedding, don't they?
Yeah, so they're vacation friends, and then as Lil Rel Howery and Yvonne Orgy's characters are... Orgy? That just sounds rude.
Well, you said it.
Are leaving. They're like, no, it's fine, we don't have to keep in touch with them, they're just vacation friends. But they have got engaged by this point, so they're arranging the wedding, and her father really disapproves of him.
Yeah.
And there's this whole thing. And then they're at the planned wedding, which is like a location wedding. No one's having a fun time. The dad's being really horrible to him, and it's all like a big thing. And then John Cena and Meredith Hagner's characters turn up.
Yep.
Crash through a wall.
Yeah.
Uninvited.
Nice.
Yep. And then you just get them being ridiculously charming
To everyone.
to everyone throughout the thing, whilst seemingly just accidentally creating chaos. But it has an awful lot of heart. It's awfully silly.
Very silly.
But I genuinely believe this. John Cena might be a comedic genius. I had a fucking blast with this movie, and I'm not even joking. There's a strong possibility this could be in my top 10 at the end of the year. It looks great as well, but it looks great, but it looks like it was shot on a budget, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's what I will say. It's probably 95 minutes before credits, and it does an awful lot within that 95 minutes of. It's throwing an awful lot of fucking jokes and stupidity at the screen, and if you can get on board with that, it's an awfully fucking good time. If we watched this on Disney Plus, if we'd seen this in a cinema, I'd have been very, very happy about the money, the fucking unlimited I'd spent on it.
Yeah, no, do you know what? It's fun. It's dumb, but it's fun.
Yes. I did actually forget that we also watched Halloween 2018 Halloween.
We did, yeah.
I forgot about that.
Liked it a lot better on rewatch.
Did you?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I watched it at the cinema, liked it. Watched it at home, didn't like it. Then rewatched it and liked it more.
Cool. Thought it was pants.
Okay.
It's pants.
That doesn't bode well for the next one, does it?
So our next main review, Halloween Kills,
Is
the second.
Ian goes to the toilet again. Ever so sorry.
I'll do the introduction. Why you got
Okay.
fake.
Yeah, I'll drop in. Thank you.
So yeah, Halloween Kills, the second in a planned trilogy from David Gordon Green and Danny McBride as chief writers and director. Again, we have Jim Lee Curtis is back. Judy Greer's back, Will Patton's back, but they've brought along with them Anthony Michael Hall is along for the ride, and other people. Let's have a look and see what IMDb says is the synopsis for this. Let's see how wrong they can get this one. The saga of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode continues the next thrilling chapter of the Halloween series. Brilliant. Thanks for that, IMDb. So it's literally set directly afterwards, same night as Halloween. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it is the continuation of What Would You Have It? Michael, it's not dead. Not
Standard.
dead. Not dead. Set all these traps. Not dead. So he's not dead. What do you have it? He just goes around essentially just doing a bit of murder.
Okay,
An
so
awful lot of murder.
so much.
But
murder.
then we have a bit of a backtrack as well to the original Halloween, where we get side character has been activated in the form of Will Patton and his younger self, played by Thomas Mann, the most Will Patton as a young man you could get.
Quite good casting.
It's incredible casting, to the point of where Thomas Mann must have been at points looking at Will Patton and going, shit, I better lock in a hot wife now. And I mean a hot wife, not a hot wife, all one word.
Oh, this is a thing that you keep saying that I don't understand the meaning of.
I'm just saying that there might be some listeners who understand the meaning of what that is, who are going, oh really? And then others are going to Google it, and yeah.
You're going to ruin their life.
Wow, that was...
I can't remember what it means, so you've explained it to me before. I think I've scrubbed it from my memory.
Should I explain it again?
No, please don't.
A hot wife is a married woman who likes having sex with other men, not her husband, with her husband's permission.
Okay.
All one word.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Anyway.
just saying Thomas Mann should lock in a
Hot space wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if later in their relationship she wants to become a hot wife, then that's up to him. I mean,
When he starts looking like Will
when he starts going pattern. Yeah, when he starts getting the pattern.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Okay, so before we
That
get
was some
into...
filler, wasn't it?
Yeah. So before we get into the review of this movie,
Yes.
I would like to say one positive thing.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I liked the
Straight
fact...
off the bat there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm not going to make any bones about that. I enjoyed the fact that given that this is a sequel to, obviously, Halloween and then Halloween with a big gap without any of the other sequels, I liked the fact that it just fully it just addressed the fact that he's not obsessed with Laurie. Laurie is obsessed with him. He's not obsessed with Laurie. In Halloween 2018, was it?
Yeah.
They take him to her. He's not chasing Laurie Strode. He's just fucking killing people in Haddonfield because it's near his home. He doesn't give a shit about Laurie Strode.
Right.
I liked the fact that they addressed that. Her obsession is what's led her to live the life that she leads.
As a kook.
It's nothing to do... People keep bringing him to her rather than him going to her. And that is the one thing that I liked about this movie.
Ian. Halloween. That was our introduction to Halloween Kills. There.
I was enjoying that.
Halloween Kills. Where are you in the sense that they introduce, that they call back to Halloween, and that they essentially with this just set fire to all of the sequels?
Fine, why not? I don't know. I mean, it's fine. Let's have different timelines. I'm not that precious about it, and I don't know. If you're gonna be super precious about it fucking with the Halloween sequels, you're a fucking loser.
Wow, that's just rude.
But you know what I mean, though. It's just, if you're gonna be that het
H2O
up
is a
about
fucking
it,
classic, Ian. A classic of the genre.
but it doesn't mean that H2O doesn't exist. You know, like, it's okay. Carpenter's involved in this, but Carpenter's involved because Carpenter likes money, and he probably likes David Gordon Green. You know what I mean, though? Like, he probably just likes these people. I mean, like, this is one of the things...
The thing is, he wasn't a big fan of the Rob Zombie
no.
Halloween movies, but he's very good friends with Rob Zombie.
I don't hate the Rob Zombie ones. They just take it in a different direction. Like, it is what it is. But people got all up in arms about the Rob Zombie ones, about it not respecting the sequels and stuff like that. And then with these ones, people seem to be very much like, oh well, no, they're just taking it back to a purer vision of what John Carpenter originally wanted to do. And it's
I don't. To be fair, the word on Halloween Kills is very much where you're at with it, Bex. You know, like I think people generally agree with your take on it. I mean, the Rob Zombie ones, they're nasty bits of work that aren't really for me, and I don't feel like they're really saying anything. I mean, I'll put my cards on the table here. I like Halloween Kills. I don't love it, but I kinda had a ball with it in the moment. I like that they go back to the 70s. It felt in keeping. I think it worked well. I liked the Evil Dies Tonight aspect of it. Yes, it's heavy-handed.
hated that.
What?
Evil Dies Tonight repeated over and over again by fucking clearly Trumpy kind of people.
But I mean, this is it. It's the walnut. The walnut to smash a sledgehammer. A sledgehammer to smash a walnut. You know, it's not. And I mean, this is a film that was shot before, shot in the Trump times. You know, like I to be honest, if Trump had got in for a second term and this had come out, I think a lot of the people going, oh, it's fucking boring, it's not really saying anything, would be, this is one of the most incendiary pieces of horror of the last 20 years. You know, it's... And for me, I liked what it was trying to say. I liked that... I mean, apparently the shooting title of the film was Mob Rules. And... there is an aspect to say how interested actually is it in Michael Myers and particularly the Strodes, but I kind of liked what it was doing. I liked how rough it was, because it was rough with a point. The Rob Zombie films are just basically rough to be rough. This felt like it was rough, but it had it had social commentary behind it.
See, I liked what it wanted to be doing with the social commentary thing. I think it just did it in such a unskilled, heavy-handed way that it just felt like it just made it shit. Like there was no finesse or subtlety to it. And horror movies are political. They just are. Anyone that denies that fact is kidding themselves. They just are. They comment on the environment in which they're made, but normally they do it with a certain level of subtlety that makes you go, oh, that kind of feels like this, rather than, oh, I'm being smacked around the face by the fact that this is about mob rule and Trumpy people and people that can't fucking control themselves and have any of their own opinions. And this was just so heavy-handed. I found it genuinely offensive to watch. Like when you're watching a film and you feel like you're being spoon-fed a political message, it really bothers me.
The thing is,
it really bothered me.
It's like I say with my thing, like a sledgehammer to smash a walnut. It's not that it's spoon feeding. It is fucking It is stabbing you in the fucking face with a not like the sheer force with which it's doing it. I thought was interesting, and obviously it didn't connect for you, Bex. And to be clear, that's absolutely fine. I'm not trying to convince you or anything. For me, it had its place and it worked.
The thing is, that
not all of it worked.
The thing is that disappoints me with stuff like this is when it does that kind of thing, is like the people that it's trying to get that message across to, like, look how stupid you're being, you know, this isn't the way to do things, mob rule isn't a good idea, they're not watching this fucking movie. They're watching Carrie Underwood on country music live. They're not watching Halloween Kills.
I don't know any of what you just said.
Do you know what I mean? They're not going to. they're not going to go and watch what has traditionally been a very liberal kind of centric horror franchise. They're not getting that message.
This film just opened in the US to 5 million less than No Time to Die did in its opening weekend. There are people all over the US watching it.
That's fine. I just feel like it's misjudged, to be honest. Play to your audience.
I know that.
Don't play to an audience you're trying to chastise.
I think all I'm saying is I think it's going to a lot of audiences that agree with it. Hopefully, it gets through to some audiences which, judging by its box office, it is, that maybe, may just be pissed off with it and be like, oh, don't you tell me what to do, Hollywood liberals. But, maybe it will make some people think, and it's... Like
Those
I say,
people are just like, yeah, that Tommy Doyle, he's a fucking hero. He had the right idea.
No, I don't know, but maybe. But I mean, the thing is, you look at what Jordan Peele does, and it's like, I don't think that you can call Get Out or Us subtle either. I mean, particularly Us. I mean, like, that is some sledgehammer walnut shit as well. But I don't know, people like Jordan Peele, and I like Jordan Peele. I like Us. I think it's a better film than Get Out. But I think it's maybe because I like that fucking smushing it in your face kind of aspect rather than the spoon feeding. Which is maybe why I vibe with those films. I'm really... The thing is that I think a large part of it is gonna come down to how Halloween Ends lands. But I will say, by the end of it, where it was just like, fuck it, every single time you try and attack Michael, he just gets stronger. I mean, they've already kind of almost set up the supernaturally element to it in the opening to the 2018 one, where the guy's showing him the mask and shouting at him, and it's making fucking everyone, including the fucking prison dogs, go mad. There's some eerie shit there. And with this one, I just, like, by the end of it, where it was just like Judy Greer's, like, standing there and just gets fucking murdered. I mean, I never want to see Judy Greer get murdered, believe me. But the sheer force of that, and then Halloween Kills comes up, I thought it was effective. I mean, Mark, what did you think of it? I don't think you've fucking spoken, bless you.
I was enjoying the kind of discourse between that. I think it's one of the... I think often with movies like this, and I think comedy and things like that, the very subjective movies, I think it's whether or not it grabs you at certain points. And it clearly grabbed Ian, it clearly didn't grab you, Becky. It's very different to that.
I think I had such high hopes for it as well.
But I think that when a movie grabs you or not, or whether or not it clicks with you or not, can take you on the different journeys on a movie. And I think that's the beauty of these things. Personally, I found it to be quite boring, to be honest, in the sense of I can see what it was going for, and I think that there's an overkill to it, but I think it's an intentional overkill. I think David Gordon Green is he's a very, very good director who also happens to be an incredibly lazy director, in the sense that I don't think he ever wants to challenge himself. I think he's happy doing things that he knows he can do incredibly competently. And this he can do incredibly competently. And even really interestingly and really well at points, and then falls back on Michael Myers going into a house and just stabbing people or grabbing people by the head and smashing it into things repeatedly. And it felt a little bit like I get it. And I got to the point of where I was just a little bit bored.
See, Michael Myers doesn't even feel Michael Myers-y in this.
No, he doesn't.
Like in the first one,
I don't think he felt Michael Myers-y in that.
But he does a bit more. But he doesn't at all in this. At all. The character's just been completely like hijacked.
The thing is, I have a feeling, and it's based on nothing, and I have a feeling that what we're watching isn't. I don't explain this. Isn't the second part in a trilogy. I think it's the second act in what is going to be one big fucking movie.
That's
that is Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends is one big circular fucking movie that will call back and will bounce around and everything like that, and this is Act 2 rather than movie 2. And so I'm looking at going, right, I didn't vibe with that, but I might vibe with that a lot more based on what Halloween Ends does. It might make me go, oh, okay, there's that. Yeah. Because there's seeds laid and there's bits like that I'm looking at going, this can't be movie number 2. There's got to be more within that that makes it, what is it? Because if Halloween Ends is just a third movie that is this movie and Halloween, it will be so what was the point?
Yeah. Just leave the other sequels where
and I don't believe that with the people involved that it's going to end up being that just generic.
Yeah.
So there's got to be something there, because in terms of some of I think the callbacks to the 78 bits are really interesting. I think the Jim Lee Curtis things are a bit crap. I'm not sure where they're going with the Michael Myers thing, but I think if Halloween Ends lands that, it could be. I could be looking at it in the same way as I looked back on Age of Ultron, which I thought was a bit pants, and then when I went back and watched it
in context
yeah. of the what is it's now shot back up as being one of the fucking better Marvel movies.
Yeah.
I
really hope
this.
So.
I think this is a middle movie that needs the beginning and the end to make it make sense to me.
I really genuinely hope so.
And there's that. But I did find it a bit of a drag at points.
Fair enough.
Which is, I really wanted to like it.
We were so excited for this, weren't we?
I was really excited for it.
Yeah.
And maybe I was too excited.
Yeah.
For that. But it didn't. I don't know. But I also don't think Anthony Michael Hall is that good an actor anymore.
Which one was he?
Tommy Doyle.
Tommy Doyle.
Ugh, fuck Tommy Doyle.
Yeah,
I genuinely did not. Like, you watch Halloween, you don't think Tommy Doyle's going to grow up to be that.
Yeah, I kind of would expect. I think he's more expected to grow up to be that than he would be Paul Rudd.
I remain interested for the last one. You know, apparently it's going to be 5 years later, and who knows what the fuck.
I'm interested for it. But the thing is, I'm interested because I want to see what else is happening, and I can remain interested in that without ever thinking that. I don't have strong opinions of Halloween Kills like you guys do. It was a bit of a blur for me. Blur. I don't even think I can say it was shit because I just don't care enough with it. It was. I thought if you threw this in and said this was Halloween fucking 5, I think that people would. it's just it's a bit nothing. I don't get it. But the thing is, I don't get it. But I know there's a next one, and that's the other bit. You know there's another one. So anything that happens in this has pretty much zero consequences.
It's classic middle film bullshit, isn't it?
Yeah. So but I'm still very much up for Halloween Ends.
I'm really hoping the last one makes this good in context.
I've just got a feeling it's gonna.
Okay.
I've got a real feeling it's gonna.
It's a lot riding on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they haven't started shooting it yet, and I do wonder whether the kind of like the mixed reaction to this is going to maybe slightly get them to reconfigure stuff. But I don't know who's to say though. I mean, we'll see. I'm sad you guys didn't get as much out of it as I did. I'll say that.
Sad.
But I'm glad you dug it.
Yeah, so am I.
Our audience poll, definitely not shit, 58%, touching cloth 11%, and shit 26%.
Okay.
I mean, I'm guessing you're shit, Becky, and Ian's definitely not shit. I don't even know where I am. I'm touching cloth, I think.
I really wish it wasn't shit.
Because I do think there's some interesting bits in there, and I think there's all the bits with Michael Myers and Anthony Michael Hall.
So what are the interesting bits? The firefighter slaughter that everyone's so upset about. That's quite
Couldn't care less.
It's quite well done that though, as a set piece.
People are upset about that, are they?
Yeah, people have been like petitioning to get it removed from the movie.
Sure.
Because they're just firefighters doing their job. It's a horror movie, guys. Chill out.
Questions. We had some good questions this week.
Oh god, I haven't prepared for these at all.
Right. Well, while you prepare and have a look, I'll say we are a Pod Syndicate podcast. Other Pod Syndicate podcasts include Chin Circler's Punter, The Rewatch Project, His Film Her Movie, Entertainment Landfill, and the Alien sequel. We also have a Patreon where we're covering the Hellraiser movies at the moment. Well, Ian's covering them all and we're watching some occasionally. And yes, so that is called Jesus Fucking Wept, our descent into hell. So you can get that $2 a month, I believe, is still the price. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm right. I had a shock that I said that. I thought, am I saying this every other week? And it's just fucking not true. And Ian's just going, I don't think it is, you know. But yeah, so go ahead over there. There's also other bits of coverage that we have there, extended version of the show, etc., and bits like that. So yes, questions. Andrew Jones with an absolute banger of a fucking question. Honestly, when I saw this the other day, I was like, that's a fucking great question. Andrew Jones, friend of the show, says, what movie houses would you want to move into?
Okay, so as long as the characters aren't around.
Are you saying the people on the stairs?
No, Stu's house from Scream.
Ooh, that's a good shout, yeah. That's a really good shout, that, actually, yeah.
I'm going to be a real basic bitch and say the Amityville house.
What, as an actual house?
Yeah, it's a good house. That window is a nice
It's a nice window.
It's a good window.
That's it.
It's got a boat thing.
A great fucking house that you can... Yeah, brilliant. Fantastic.
It's got a good basement. Nice big basement.
Yeah, it's possessed.
Right. So, just make friends with it.
I mean... Or... Actually, no. I'm going to scrub that because it's kind of seems like it's in the middle of nowhere. That'd be terrifying. Llewyn Davis's apartment, because then I'll live in wintry New York and I'll just be happy for the rest of my life.
Are we talking general houses, or are we talking horror movie houses?
General houses, because I haven't done mine yet, and I think there's a right answer to this.
Go on.
Oh shit! Or Clark Griswold.
I genuinely think. Nope, not quite. There's a right answer to this. It's the house from Home Alone. I do.
A McMansion? Absolutely not. Never in my life would I live in one of those, no.
It costs a shitload to fucking maintain that place, mind, bud.
Oh, the house in Paddington.
Oh, fuck off.
Big
Oh, fuck, that's a good answer, though.
Three-story
it's
in
not.
London. Yeah,
It's a
absolutely.
terrible
The house
answer.
in Paddington, yeah.
No. I'm going to throw out there. Jason Statham's house in The Mechanic.
Sorry, dude, I don't remember that.
It's a fucking tight house.
I don't
It's on a
remember.
fucking bayou.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's more modern. He's got a fucking wicked fucking sound system in there. Like, proper. It's an expensive looking vinyl setup he's got going on there.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm down with that. Stellan Skarsgård's in Go Dragon Tattoo. It's a fucking tight, modern, sleek house there.
That is a nice house.
It is
That's
a nice
good
house.
choice.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what else is nice. The lakeside house in Funny Games.
Ooh, that's a good shout.
But again, you don't want any of those characters around.
No, you don't want any of the characters around. God, no.
I don't think you get all of them.
What? Fucking yeah! You if you get to that lakeside house and you turn around and you go, fucking hell, Michael Pitt's here. We're off back. Let's go back to fucking New York. Fuck the Hamptons. Pitt's around. Because he could literally just be doing that because he ain't doing much else.
Oh, bless him.
I mean, apparently it's because he's a prick.
He's talented though, isn't he?
Yes.
Paddington House. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
it's
still
not
gonna
that.
go back with
God no. God no.
Oh, the house in Peter Pan.
Oh, all these
Basically-
horrible townhouses.
Yeah, basically the townhouse in London. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
grim.
I'd fucking love to live in London.
I'd live in a fucking townhouse.
What do you want to live in? Some shitty apartment?
No. No.
Yeah, you would. You'd want a fucking loft apartment, wouldn't you? Like in the loft. Oh my god, what? The
Yeah, what was
Fucking
that?
loft. But I would want all the characters.
Oh god, let's move on.
Shit, that's the perfect answer,
That's the Mark answer, isn't it?
isn't it? Just
Yeah. Just me walking. What are we doing, guys? What are you doing here? Is that a dead girl? Yeah. Fucking hell, let's do some shit. What's going on here?
oh god.
Are you Carl Urban?
Terrible. You are terrible. Just as a person.
Rick Kidd, thanks. Rick J. Kidd. With reports that Blumhouse are going to do a sequel for The Exorcist, much like they have with Halloween, what route would you like to see Blumhouse go with their future strategy? And if they are to continue with reinventions / sequels to existing franchises, which ones?
What would I like them to
So-
do with their future strategy?
Yes.
Stop making shit sequels to shit.
Anywhere. Yeah.
Right, so it's an interesting one, this, isn't it? Because
Yes.
I think I almost want to split out Jason Blum and Blumhouse. So, like, Blum was nominated for an Oscar, I want to say 2 years in a row, for Whiplash and Black Klansman, or at least
Year and a half, I think.
2 in 3 years.
2 or 3 years.
And I would like to see Blum turn his attention to things that maybe aren't necessarily horror, because Blumhouse, they've got an interesting mix of people. Like he used to write for Bloody Disgusting. Ryan Turek
Oh, yeah.
produces a lot of the Blumhouse stuff now, and it almost feels like, you know, leave them to do what they're doing, and the mix of reactivating past franchises, like the Paranormal Activity sequel is due in the next couple of weeks, at least on Paramount Plus in the US. The new one that's directed by the guy who directed Underwater. So, you know, I want to see them continue doing that, and, you know, not all of it.
Underwater?
Yeah.
What's he called? Something.
William Eubank.
Eubank. Well, I thought it was William Eubank. Yeah, that's really interesting. And it was out,
Isn't it, though?
Yeah, that's because fucking Underwater's a great movie.
Yeah, we'll get to Paranormal Activity Next of Kin in the next couple of weeks, I think. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I mean, like, it's Blumhouse doing that thing where not all of it sticks. Like the Craft Legacy, I mean, fair play to Jason Blum. He actually did an interview for the Film Stories podcast in support of the Craft Legacy. So he is putting himself out there for stuff that surely he knows is not that good. But they're also doing the Welcome to the Blumhouse original movies for Amazon. There's a series of them that have gone up in the last week or so. So they've got an awful lot of things going on at the moment, and not all of them stick, but the ones that do stick make a lot of money to cover the ones that don't. And I think that model is cool. I want to see Jason Blum become a Hollywood powerhouse in other genres as well. And whether that means Blumhouse expands out or whether he forms another label, I don't know. But in a way, I suppose it's keep on keeping on because it's fucking working. I mean, I'm looking at my Jason Blum Funko right now. I respect the living shit out of that dude. His whole model. It's for good. Yeah, but this is the thing, isn't it, Mark? It's he's a force for good, but he's also a fucking businessman. But he's a businessman who has that force for good kind of mentality within him, and that's the Venn diagram that you want. So for me, keep on keeping on. Not all of it is going to stick, but at the same time, the guy isn't just Michael Bay. I'm gonna do Platinum Dunes and do a bunch of fucking remakes and then somehow hit it big with A Quiet Place. He is. I know a lot of this stuff isn't gonna fucking stick, but if you make this shit for a low enough budget, I'll give you the creative control to sink or swim. Yep. And yeah. So, like I say, I just I feel like if I was to ever go into film studies and write a dissertation again, it would be on Jason Blum.
I think we've said it for a number of years, haven't we? If we could have one, if we could get one fucking interview,
yep,
for Film Bastards, where we could have an hour with somebody, I think if we were to write a top 3. And go, and yet, if we were to say you can't include people like the Pantheon ones for that, but even if you could include the Pantheon ones, I would say Jason Blum would be in all of our 3 lists. Yeah.
In the life of Bastards, I think he is the single most important film person in the life of this podcast.
Yeah, I think in terms of for the question of how you're saying that, I think it would be interesting if he literally went, right, like you say, and went, I'm still going to do all of the horror stuff. And the genre picks. But I'm also going to start doing this, and this. For that, but there's almost an element of does he need to? But then there is an element of there also is an element of the fact that you've got the Blumhouse as it's got bigger has become more synonymous with it just being horror pictures. That there's an element of could Whiplash happen again and things like that. There's an element that they might not be able to do that going forward. So yeah, it would be really interesting to see how he deals with that. In terms of for pure horror, I'd like him to take a dip into the he's done 70s and a little bit 80s horror. I'd like him to take a dip into the 90s horror stuff. I think that we've got a new Scream film coming out, but fuck it, why not have another low budget fucking urban legend movie, or another I Know What You Did Last Summer kind of thing, and throw those out there into that kind of vibe for taking over. But I think with Jason Blum, I think that a Blumhouse, they do so much in terms of for content that it's just interesting. You know, when you see that logo crop up, you're there going, "Oh, all right, fucking hell, fair enough. We're in fucking good hands here." But yeah, it's such an interesting character, and he speaks. If he released a fucking podcast, which was just him going, "Here's a podcast. Here's 10 episodes of a podcast. And it's just me talking about horror movies that I like," it would be right. I cannot fucking wait to listen to that.
Yeah, quite. I mean, he just interesting fucking dude, and Insidious 5. Yeah, let Patrick Wilson direct one.
Yep.
I'll give you a set amount of money. You go do you. And it's like he's made people's careers. And
he's modern day Roger Corman in it.
Do you know, actually, I think he's been nominated 3 times. I think it was Whiplash, and then he was nominated for Black Klansman and Get Out.
Get Out, yeah.
2 in 2 years.
Yeah. And
actually, I'm going to look this up. Carry on.
Whiplash was... I'm trying to think where Whiplash was. Because Get Out was 2017. And Whiplash...
Black Klansman was 2018.
2018. And where's Whiplash in this?
15?
Is it 15?
Or is it 16?
I think it's 16. But yeah, I think he's proper. Yeah. He's proper Roger Corman of his generation.
Yeah. No, here we go.
These guys a chance. But with a hit rate of actual movies.
He is a 3-time Oscar nominee for Best Motion Picture of the Year. Whiplash, Get Out, and Black Klansman. Like that's the thing. I mean, he is synonymous with modern horror, but he is also a 3-time Best Picture nominee in that time.
Yeah, I mean,
if
you go through,
never the twain have met.
Yeah, some of the people he's worked with, Joe Carnahan. He's worked with Rob Cohen. He's worked with Ian Softly. He's worked with. I mean, there's just some greatest hits. M. Night Shyamalan, Mike Flanagan, Jordan Peele. Mike Flanagan and Jordan Peele gave them their starts effectively. Lee Winnell, first movie he directed was was one of his. You've also got people, kicking in there. Barry Levinson, Scott Derrickson, helped, kickstart his career. Ty West's in there. Spike Lee. He's got a BJ Novak movie coming out in the next sort of year or so, I think. From there, and Rob Zombie, fucking James Wan, he's done a lot with that. He was a producer on one of the early Noah Baumbach movies. It's a very fucking interesting career. Fucking hell, he's doing the latest Darren Aronofsky movie, the latest Richard Linklater movie. He's producing both of those.
So I mean that's it. He is more than horror, but at the same time, it never seems like he necessarily wants to be seen as more than horror.
Yeah, that's it. He's existing in a very much a tidy place.
Yeah. Fucking interesting dude. Absolutely.
What are we covering next week, Ian?
So we have got Dune.
Oh, fucking hell. Do you know what? As I said that, I literally thought, genuinely, what are we covering next week, Ian? But yeah.
So, I'm gonna see it tomorrow. I'm fucking pumped. I'm fucking ready.
Yeah, I think I think we're seeing it. I'm not sure. We've got a thing of where we've got a wedding. We want to go and see it on the IMAX, you see. So we have to go to York to see it. But it's also 3 hours long. And we've got a wedding on Sunday, so we're going to that. So that's it, not Sunday out. So we will be seeing it. I think we're seeing it on Monday, I believe. At the
I now know enough people personally who have seen Dune who are like, yeah, it's that good. So, yeah, here we go. We've also got Wes Anderson's latest, The French Dispatch.
Yep.
Fucking pumped. Cannot wait to fucking see what you two make of that.
I mean, Bex is the thing is Bex is a Wes Anderson fan, and I'm not. But, and as I have said this to you, Ian, I really want to see The French Dispatch because I genuinely want to like a Wes Anderson movie.
Absolutely. We'll also talk Titan.
Yep.
And we will retro review The Haunting.
Pete's Dragon.
And Pete's Dragon. And we've got a couple of Hellraiser films for the Patreon. So, holy fucking shit. That kind of feels like that's my entire film week booked out.
Yep. Very similar.
Actually, to be fair, I've already seen Titan, so I don't know. Maybe I'll have a little bit of space. Oh, I'm going to go see The Boss Baby 2 with... I'm going to go see The Boss Baby 2 at the weekend.
Oh, yeah? My brain seems to think that had already been out.
So it came out in the US, like, in July.
That's been why.
But it comes out over here.
Is that why when I walked by your sushi earlier today, in your... The Boss Baby 2 was plastered all over the window?
That'll be it.
That is a little bit mental, the fact that the Boss Baby 2's official food partner is your sushi.
I mean, I'll try and report back as to whether there are any sushi-related antics in the Boss Baby 2. I'm ready for more questions.
Yeah. Have you ever answered the questions from the first?
No, and I believe there will be more questions after the second.
There'll be less answers, just more questions.
Yeah, I actually forgot about the Boss Baby 2. I need to get ready for that.
Are you going to rewatch the Boss Baby?
Or
do you need to rewatch the Boss Baby?
Who's to say? I have heard the Boss Baby in the back of the car enough times to know the Boss Baby.
Then you're good to go. You're good to go.
Yeah. So there we are.
So that's it. So a fairly packed week next week. Right. Well, we thank you very much for listening, guys. Thanks very much for joining, Rebecca.
Thanks for hosting.
And thanks very much for joining me, Ian.
Muchas gracias.
And we shall speak to you next week, guys. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
This podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.